Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mel and Wally Show. I'm Mel.
Bonjour, I'm Wally.
On this podcast, we talk about whatever the hell we want.
Because we can. Please enjoy, subscribe, like, and follow. Do all the things. Bonjour, everybody.
Hello, everyone. This is Mel.
I'm Wally.
We are so happy to be here with you today.
Yeah, same here. It's been a while since we've recorded an episode.
It has been.
You guys have been getting content each week, but we recorded them before that, obviously.
Yeah, we did like a whole big group all in one go and
then took a break.
Yeah, so this is the first time that we're actually getting to sit down with each other in like
a while, yeah.
A little while.
So this episode is going to be really, really fun because I am obsessed with weddings. And that's what we're going to be talking about this week.
Yes. I am also a fan of weddings. I wouldn't say that I am obsessed with them, but I do like them.
Mm-hmm. I feel like every aspect of it intrigues me in the sense of obviously I love romance and all, and I'm such a hopeless romantic. But planning a wedding, finding a dress, going shopping for a suit, decorations, everything just makes me happy.
I can get on board with that. I'm not so much about the romance. I definitely love the planning aspect of it. I love to plan events.
Yeah, and my OCD tendencies help out with all of those things I feel.
Yes.
Mel has mentioned many times because I said that I wanted my wedding to be super extravagant and big and whatever.
Ridiculous.
And she's said ridiculous a bunch of times, but she's also said that she knows I'm going to be such a crazy bridezilla or whatever at my wedding time. Yes. But she said that she'll make sure everything gets done, so that's good at least.
I will.
I want to throughout the whole process of it, when we go, cake tasting or dress shopping or whatever, suit shopping, I want to wear shirts for all of us that say, for me would say it's my wedding bitch, and then
that's so much fun.
For all of the people that are with me, my entourage would say it's Wally's wedding bitch. Basically, get it done. There's no excuses for you not to make sure that I have what I need. The vendors, not my entourage.
We should totally film that when that happens. We should just
a reality TV show kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would love that.
It would be amazing.
Because I am crazy, and I know that, and I want everything to be very specific at my wedding. And I know, obviously, at every event, something or things that go wrong will go wrong. Mm-hmm. But if we can avoid things going wrong, why wouldn't we?
You have to have a plan
exactly.
for all the possible things that could go wrong. This is just me in my everyday life. I like to have, my plans.
Mm-hmm.
My backup plans, and then my backup plan for my backup plan.
Yeah.
You can never have too many contingency plans.
No, I completely agree.
Just being prepared. Be prepared for any eventuality.
Which is a good advice for anything that you go through in life.
Yes.
So what would you, let's say if you were to get married right now, what would you want your wedding to look like?
Oh, God. Okay.
Theme-wise and decorations and all that.
I don't know if I would have a theme.
Okay.
When I think of themes, I think of
circus.
I think of school dances.
Gotcha.
Or something.
Right.
I even had a hard time. I don't think that I had a theme really for the baby showers or gender reveals that I did. I just kind of decided what I wanted the decor to look like.
I guess when I say theme, I mean the I guess category of things like colors, theme, and all that kind of thing.
I have no idea about color.
Okay.
I am in love with white.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that I love white. So white could definitely play a huge part of that, and I like everything to be clean and pretty simple. So I would not go crazy with the flowers at all. If even if there were flowers,
right?
Because there's always a possibility that there would not be.
Would you want a bouquet or something? Even that's a maybe.
Yeah, that's a maybe. I wouldn't I don't like the big poofy.
I don't either.
One
which is surprising.
I just like the simple
What are those flowers called with the long stems that are white flowers. And
like calla lilies?
yes, what about those?
I love
feel like I would
calla
see
lilies.
you.
They're one
Yeah.
of my favorite flowers. I love calla lilies. I love peonies.
Mm-hmm.
I love oh no, I'm gonna forget the name of it. The anthuriums. I love anthuriums. For anybody who doesn't know what an anthurium is, it's like that tropical looking, almost plastic flower that kind of looks like it could be a calla lily if the leaves, or if the flower part kind of just opened up instead of curling.
Okay.
That has the stem, or whatever those are called.
The insides? The buds?
It has a name, and I'm not going to think of it right now, but sticking up, where all of the like pollen comes from. And it's like a waxy, plasticky looking flower, and they can be red or white.
Gotcha.
I think those are the only colors that I've seen, but I think it also comes in another color.
Okay. Yeah, out of those, I feel like visually I see you most with calla lilies.
See,
if you were to have a bouquet.
I would probably do peonies.
Really?
Because they're so pretty.
They are really pretty.
They're so pretty. And maybe like throw in a little bit of calla lily.
Mm-hmm.
Or something. Like something else. But see, it's all very white.
Right.
Because it's like soft colors.
I feel like
I like that.
if I were to plan your wedding without your involvement at all, I would do like something kind of woodsy. Like with lots of wood and like rustic, but with like white decorations everywhere and calla lilies and I guess peonies. But I feel like that would be like very much your aesthetic, which is very opposite of my aesthetic, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, and I want to have it in the fall now because the stupid summer is so freaking hot and I can't stand it. So now I'm like, fall.
I feel like fall makes the most sense to me for you.
Where it should be.
See, I don't know if I have an exact like
October.
Yeah.
October.
I feel like that would make sense.
Like late September, early October.
I don't think I have a season that I necessarily want it to be in. I basically have everything else planned out, but I don't know if I have a season that I would prefer it to be in. I guess it would just depend on what the other person wanted. I'll leave that up to because everything else is decided for them.
This is true.
I mean, I guess not everything. I don't know my flowers necessarily.
Well, what kind of flowers do you like?
See, I like calla lilies, even though I don't remember their names. I like roses, but I feel like they're also a bit like overused for weddings, especially. But I do like the look of them. The theme, like color theme for my wedding is going to be red, silver, and white.
Yes.
So I don't even like because I don't have that much experience in flowers.
You should have a Christmas wedding, Wally. That's just like all the.
I feel like that's just
right
like so tacky.
Yeah. Your wedding's gonna be like tacky fabulous.
I don't know if I want it to like be like.
Have snow everywhere.
I feel like it would look really
winter
pretty, but I don't want to like have to wear a coat on top of everything else.
You like never wear a coat now in the winter, basically.
I mean that's true.
I don't understand why this is factoring in.
And if I I'm trying to decide if I want 2 weddings or one big one. Like it's gonna be big no matter what.
You should base that on how much money you have at the time, maybe.
Right, but my idea is to like do either a separate, smaller, probably but more like crazy drag wedding.
Okay.
And I want to have like this giant wedding dress that like I can barely move in, but looks so good. And then I want to like take off the skirt to like be able to dance and whatever.
About this.
Yeah.
I'm so not into that.
Well,
like for me.
Yeah, I know that. I was like, it's not your wedding.
You do whatever
it's
you want.
Wally's wedding, bitch. Yeah, I feel like that would be really fun. And then for my like I guess quote unquote regular wedding, I'd wear a suit, and I would probably do 2 suits anyway if I did them separately. If I did them together, I would start off in drag and then go back into my man self, just because that way I wouldn't have to get into drag at the wedding, because that would take about 2 hours.
Yeah. I think there's something nice too, like not to take away from
No, not at all.
like drag or anything, but there's something nice about it being like you, like your actual self, rather than like I know that drag is like a huge part, but it's sort of like the character.
No, definitely, and I don't want to necessarily like I would never want to do just drag wedding.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to get married with me as a man because that's who I am. But I feel like it would just be so fun to do some aspect of a drag at my either like the one big wedding or like a separate small wedding that's with drag, but like crazy stupid. And if I did just like the separate weddings and like I was the man wedding was the bigger one, I would do 2 suits and change in between, and I would probably do like the actual ceremony first. But if I was to do the drag at the same wedding, I would do the ceremony after I got out of drag, which would be different than most weddings. But I mean, my wedding's already going to be super different than most weddings. Yeah, I think it would just be so fun because I feel like which you don't agree with having a giant wedding, or you don't want a giant wedding for yourself.
I
at least
personally don't want a giant wedding.
Most people think it's crazy to have a giant wedding because it's like a lot of money, and I definitely agree with that at some aspects.
You come from a culture where like that is just the way that everything is.
Well, exactly that, and also like it's taken me like so long to like become okay and realize who I am, and all that. So like, and I've never really like been able to celebrate that, and like who I want to be with and all that. So I think that would just be like my big, I guess, quote unquote, money wasting party that would celebrate my love in front of everyone and all that.
Celebrate you and like who you want to be with all day, every day.
Well,
That's
thank
my
you.
Take on that.
I appreciate that, but I just think it would be so cool. And I've already
have that.
Yeah, and I've already told you guys that if I would want you and Em to walk me down the aisle. I think it would be super cute, and I want whoever I get married to have their parents walk them down the aisle, or whoever they see as those figures, and then like from separate entrances, and then coming in and meeting in the middle, and then giving us away to each other, and then we walk to the end of the aisle by ourselves. So that'd be really cute.
That is really cute.
I'm also a mess at weddings usually. Like I cry like in the
I don't
crying.
even want to like picture you.
But I feel like I would need to like do something to make sure that I don't cry as much at my own wedding.
I don't think there's any stopping that, Wally. You're just gonna be a mess. Like you're
I
gonna
just
be a mess.
don't
You're
want
not gonna want any pictures from your actual wedding. Like when you're up there saying any of your vows, you're just gonna be like a complete sobbing, like snotty mess.
Like I'm okay with a couple of tears in here or there, for picture purposes. I don't want to like be a complete mess, but hopefully.
I think you're going to be.
And I might be, and I'm like obviously that's.
I'll keep handing you tissues here.
And
I'll be like the magician, just pulling this.
It's like part of your dress and just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Yeah, and I think for all my like grooms maids or whatever, because most of them are going to be women probably.
Well, they could be like
whoever.
Like I would still call them groomsmen. Is that weird?
No, it's not weird.
I don't care.
I mean, I don't think it necessarily needs a label, but I just feel
I'd
like
be
the term.
Be my bridesmaid, Wally?
I would be down for that. But yeah, I feel like the term groomsmaids is just so funny to me. I want them to obviously all be wearing the colors of the wedding.
Yes. Red,
silver, or white. Yeah, I feel like it'd be super fun. And then I want my engagement party to be emerald green and gold. I feel like those are 2 colors that go really well together.
They do go very well together.
But like, I don't want it to like with the wedding either. Like, I don't want them to look tacky, so it'd have to be like very specific shades and very like nice gold. You know what I mean? Like not like cheap fabric gold. For tablecloths and all that. Because like you can look at a dress and then like if someone recreates it, like I've seen a lot of like drag queens like recreate dresses for cheap, which they look great, but you can tell that it's a cheaper material. I don't want it to like look cheap. So I have a lot of things that I want and need to have happen. But I mean, I say all this, and like if I was like really in love with someone and they wanted to have a smaller wedding, I'd probably be okay with it. If we, like, as long as we cared about each other, that's all that really matters. but this would be like my goal wedding. And I would have it oh my god, what's the place called? Banff Springs in Alberta.
It's castle. It's like this gigantic, beautiful, like absolutely
it's so gorgeous
beautiful castle. I told him that he should put his name on their waiting list because like a place like that has got to have like years down the road.
I don't want to have happen what happened to Monica.
Just do it.
I mean, for them it turned out great because then he proposed when he heard that message. But I'm not even with anyone right now, so like, why would I do that? And then it's like,
well, you can be like dating.
I mean,
somebody and it could turn into something. Maybe.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's kind of happening right now. Like, it's very new, but we'll see how that goes. But I don't think that like it would be fair to assume that, and then like, what if it doesn't work out, and then it's
you're not doing it because you're dating him. You're dating it because you want the location.
True. But then what if like I don't find anyone and I'm just lonely and then I can't afford the place?
No, you say that you need to cancel.
I feel like if it was like a real like, you know, I want this wedding or I want this place on this date.
Yeah, then they just bump in the next person on their thing.
No, but I mean like you would have to put a deposit or something down on that, don't you normally?
I don't know if you need to if you are putting yourself on a wait list.
Okay.
If you want to secure the place,
then maybe,
then you 100%
gotcha.
need to put a payment down. But to get on a wait list, I don't think that you do.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Right.
But I really don't think that you would need to put any money down for a wait list.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. One of Matt's friends actually, he used to, friend. I was like, maybe it's his cousin, but it's not his cousin. He used to work at the Banff Springs, which is really funny because his sister.
So you have a connection.
Like a small connection. I'm not really friends with him. I'm friends with Matt.
Yeah, Matt can make magic happen. Matt is our wonderful mutual friend.
Yes, he's amazing.
And he is lovely. You've definitely heard him in some of our other podcasts that are up. So if you're listening to podcasts, you have heard his beautiful voice.
Mm-hmm. He has the voice for radio and the face for camera.
That's true.
He has everything. But yes, I think that would be a gorgeous place to have a wedding. And like the photos that we saw, like for photos, that would be an amazing place. Mm-hmm. In which sense I feel like it would make sense to do both weddings there.
Well, if you're gonna go there, then you have to have both weddings.
Yeah,
there.
And I think maybe if it was to be two separate weddings, it would be like the one with like everyone there, the bigger one that like me as a man would have to happen first, and then like the people that aren't gonna be in the smaller one can leave, and then the other fun party one that's just me and drag could be separate, and then like the photos would just be so pretty for that. Oh my god, imagine like that giant like wedding dress and on the fields there. Oh, that'd be so pretty.
See, you know what, we're talking about this, and I picture for that wedding dress,
mm-hmm.
and this could be way off because
mm-hmm.
you like have your own idea, but I picture like a high-low.
A wedding?
Like huge cathedral, like more than cathedral train.
Mm-hmm.
Back, and then like a short little
front,
and you have like
a mullet
your
dress.
Your legs are just all like killing it.
Yeah.
There in the front, and you got your sparkly shoes and everything. Like your shoes are sparkly.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind.
I feel like that's probably true.
And you walk down the aisle, and you have your hands on your hips, and it's like your catwalk.
Well, yeah, of course. And I feel like that wedding would have to have a performance element to it as well, more so than just.
You would have to save that for the like party portion.
Right.
This is gonna cost so much money, Wally.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like one wedding at that place would cost a ton of money. Now you're talking about two weddings at that place. Like,
yeah. Well, but the thing is too, like I feel like if we were to combine it, then it would be fine because $100,000. Is that what you said?
Well, I don't know how much it is to rent.
I was like, that is not that expensive compared to everything that I want, and compared to like some of the wedding shows that I've watched. Like that's like
about just for the venue.
Oh, just for the venue. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, what are you saying? I was like, $100,000 is not that bad.
I feel like that might be lowballing it.
Like $100,000 is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but for like what I'm talking about, it doesn't seem that bad in total. If we were talking about for the venue, I get it. And then for food, I hate buffets because it's just like it gets messy and people are like, you have to like, I don't know, wait to go to the table and there's a lineup. It's so tacky to me for some reason. And also I don't like table service.
Sorry, everybody who has had a wedding with a buffet that Wally has ever been to.
I feel like no, there's been more than one that I've been to. It's your wedding, you do you. I just don't want to do that. And
like table service, he doesn't like table service either. So
table service, I don't like because then I have to wait for you to answer what kind of meat you want. People are the worst at responding to things and all that kind of stuff. And then it's like you have to wait for the servers to bring, which you have to wait anyway, I guess. But
I'm wondering how often this happens because, like, you know, when you get the RSVP and they ask you like the beef,
meat or
chicken, like whatever your options
or vegetarian
are.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Well, see, I specifically left the vegetarian out because I'm figuring that they wouldn't change their minds.
What do you mean? Oh, the fried and grill?
Like, you like RSVP.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see what you're saying.
And then,
gotcha.
so you have all these guests who have RSVP'd for like chicken, and then that night they're there and they're like, oh, I want the beef. Like, I'm guessing that the catering company just has to like
make extra.
They make an estimation based on that, and like, I guess they probably have an average of how many people change their minds, so they have like more of these things than they actually need. But that would be freaking annoying.
See, and that's one of the other reasons I wouldn't want to do it, because it would just be so annoying to deal with that. And I've worked in service for the longest time, so like it's like, this is what you asked for, you're getting this. Like, fuck. Excuse my language.
It's the wedding episode. Things are getting real.
Yeah, honestly, things are going off the rails. But so what I want is like family style, I guess they call it, is where like each table kind of gets everything, and then you decide what you want to eat from that.
Platter.
Yeah, and like you get like a dish of rice or whatever the food is, and then you get like the meat, chicken, vegan options or whatever.
So you want like round tables?
Yeah, probably. Round tables, I feel like, in my mind, make the most sense for weddings. Or if, like, depending on how I set up the venue and all that, we might do, like, half round tables so everyone can see everything that's going on.
Oh, cool. I've never been to a wedding where there's a half round table.
Because I don't, like, it always sucks when you're, like, sitting, your back is towards where
everything
the groom
that's going on. And
exactly.
You have to do that awkward, like,
turn around or, like, put your chair. I feel like it would just be cool if it was, like, a half round table or a semicircle or whatever. And then that way also, like, it would be less chaos because there won't be as many people at the table, which would mean, like, the food would have to be, like, prepared in such a way that everything would fit in that area.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that would be the best way to do it, because I just think that that's less chaos in terms of having lineups and all that at buffets. And also, sorry, you're not going to be bringing, like, children to my wedding.
Children.
Like, if they cannot sit still and they're running around and ruining my photos, no. Like, I'm sorry. I love kids, don't get me wrong. I live with a child and I love her to death, but I, like, for the wedding that I want at the age she is now, she wouldn't be there.
That makes sense.
Of course, when I actually get married, I'd probably be one of the, like, flower girls or ring bearer.
Yeah,
I feel like it'd be really
just like, you can't come to the party.
I'm sure we would just get, like, a babysitter or something for the night and bring her there. Yeah. Or, like, one of the hotel staff, we would pay them if they were experienced or something.
I don't think the hotel staff does that. I think that there's, like, a service that you can...
Well, that's what I'm saying.
...get the hotel to provide.
Yeah, something like that. We would figure it out. But, yeah, I think it would be cool to, like, have a young girl being the ring bearer and, like, a young boy being the flower, quote-unquote, girl. Because obviously, gender and all that crap doesn't really matter that much. And, like, for all those little things, it's like, they're children anyway. Like, who cares? And it's, like, looks cute either way.
I don't think that I would have...
Either of these people?
Yeah. I'm just, like, cut all the things that you don't
cut
need.
all the extra things that you don't really need. Yeah, I get that. And, like, I think my, like, the actual marriage part also would be, like, an amalgamation of the different cultures and, like, traditions that I've grown up with. Like, watching I've grew up watching Bollywood, and like I've seen so many of like Afghan weddings and Pakistani weddings and all that. So I feel like there's little traditions that I like that might not necessarily be like, because I was born Muslim or whatever.
Yeah.
Might not necessarily be true to that, but I would want to put it in because I think it looks cool, or like it would make sense to my self. And then like obviously other things that like the other person I'm getting married to would want to have done.
What are they?
Well, with Afghan weddings, there's usually like, I mean, I wouldn't do it this way because usually they're separated, the bride and groom. One, they're doing the marriage part at least, and then they come back together. And they usually have a couple representatives of the bride in the room with all the men, and they call it the mullah, which is like the priest.
Okay.
They're asking, the bride or the groom how much, or well, there's also how much, but they ask them 3 times if they want to agree to the wedding.
Okay.
And then the representatives of the bride, their main job basically is, because in the Afghan culture, you are basically in a way buying, not, I feel that's like a wrong way of saying it, but you have like some kind of a dowry is what it's called.
Okay.
So like
I think most people are familiar with a dowry.
Yeah, so it's like very popular in like Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India and all that. I don't know what other cultures do it if they I'm not sure about that. But yeah, so there's some kind of a dowry, and like they basically are making sure that the bride's not getting lowballed or whatever.
Yep.
Which actually, sorry, I think dowry is when the bride is bringing stuff to the. In this sense, I don't know what the actual term is, but they're basically like putting they're giving the bride's family money. The groom's family is giving the bride family money, and to, I guess, because they're taking her away. I don't know the actual, like, I don't know why they do it. I don't think I would do this part of it. But then after that, whenever they agree on a price, sometimes there's been like fights and all these crazy things, which is crazy to me because I'm just like, this is a tradition that you guys, at this point, like as far as I know in the modern world, they do it just because it's tradition, not because it's actually a serious thing. Like I've seen weddings being like, it's $1, and they just like laugh about it, and then it's like dealt with.
Yeah.
But in like, I've heard about fights happening, and like when I was in Pakistan, I was at a wedding where a fight actually happened. I'm like, this is crazy. And I was like 7 or 8. I was like, what is going on? But yeah, so that part, and then after that, after they agree, the priest asks the groom if he agrees to the wedding 3 times, making sure he's just actually agreeing to it and like, I guess, quote unquote, not being forced into it, which I don't think that process works because you can still say yes 3 times even if you're being forced into it, because it's happened many of times.
It takes 3 times for you to tell the truth. Didn't you know that, Wally?
And then after that, the representatives go to the bride and make sure she agrees to the price or whatever, and then they ask her 3 times. And sometimes the priest is also there. A lot of the times he's not. Which, when he's not, I feel like that's even more flawed system, because like the priest isn't even there asking her. The guy could just be lying to the priest, which usually doesn't happen because they're meant to be the ones looking out for the bride. But it's like a lot of the times, like the horror stories I've heard of, like women or young women, whatever their ages are, like being forced into weddings or marriages, like they're clearly don't have anyone looking out for them. So like,
well, it would make sense that the priest was over on the men's side, because then he can claim that he didn't know.
Right. So yeah, it's a lot of crazy things. But yeah, the one tradition that I love that they do just because it like looks so pretty is at one point, while you're after you've said yes to the full wedding and everything, you are sitting on the area where the men and the bride and groom are sitting, and the usually it's the bride's sisters, I think. They are holding like a green cloth on top of them.
What if the bride doesn't have sisters, Wally?
Well, then it's her cousins or her sisters. There's always someone, or her friends. They're holding like this green, really pretty green cloth on top of both of them, and they have to read a verse of the Quran together.
Okay.
And then they like kiss it, and then they put it away, and then they look at each other for the first time as a married couple in like a mirror, which I think that's super cute.
That's sweet. I like that.
Yeah, and then they usually like toast with like in Afghan weddings, like with like orange juice or something because we don't drink. So that was super fun. And then like all of that after or at that time usually is when everyone lines up to basically give the bride and groom presents.
Okay.
I've seen it done in a really nice way where it's not a lineup.
Yeah.
It's like one by one, you just go, so it doesn't look tacky for photos. And even if there's a lineup, usually like there's a space so that you don't appear in the photo and just lining up, because that just looks so bad, I think.
Well, I don't know why a photographer, like a good photographer, would actually take a photo of like a lineup.
Yeah, but I mean, I've seen like, I'm Sherlock Holmes, yeah? Come on, Watson.
Wally, what are you doing?
I'm practicing to be Sherlock Holmes. Duh. Sherlock Holmes.
I hate to have to be the one to tell you this, but that's already done.
Oh.
It's up on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and even YouTube.
Oh. Well, I guess I'll go check them out on MNP Podcasts on podcast networks or Mortar and Pestle Productions on YouTube.
You should also follow Mortar and Pestle Productions on Instagram, so you don't miss any other episodes. Wally.
Will do.
Also, that accent sucks. Please don't ever talk like that again.
Ah.
Ever.
People that don't follow any direction, where they're like, this is, I know her, like, we're super close or whatever, so I'm gonna do what I want, like, and I don't, like, it's like, you're ruining photos for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't be, a POS.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like, usually it's like 90% of the gifts are for the bride, and then like because it's usually jewelry or like stuff like that. It's like I've seen some weddings where like I'm just like, how are you standing up? Because she's like wearing so many necklaces, so many like watches and rings and bracelets, and I was like, that's a lot. So what I've seen that done well is where they put it on just for the photo and then they take it off, so it doesn't look gross and tacky. And then they usually like from that they'll send thank you notes or whatever if they want, because they have photos.
Okay, so do all the gifts have to get given then? So they have to be like small things that can be placed.
They don't have to be, but that's just a
But you
tradition
can't.
that like a lot of people do.
Okay.
And then if you
And is that one that you would want, like all the gifts
Probably
being
not.
given?
probably not, just because it can get a little tacky and like lineups and all that, and I don't know if I want that. Maybe if it was like just like really close family, like just the parents or something like that, maybe.
That would be cute.
But other than that, probably not.
You know what would be cute?
What?
If, like, the other person's family got it for you and, like, your family got it for them.
Right.
And that way it's sort of just like an accepting into the family with some kind
That would
of
be
like
really
little
cute.
trinket.
Yeah, that would be really cute. So maybe we'll do that. But yeah, and then in the other tradition that I like is they do henna on top of the bride and groom, and they usually do like a circle, and that just like represents like this. The darker it gets, the better it is for your marriage. And then they like put on like this like triangular thing with a string attached to it, like ties to your hand, and it's like usually really pretty. And yeah, I think that just like is super cute. That it's like representing your love. Like, the darker it gets, which that's also flawed. I just think it's cute because henna is gonna get dark most of the time if it's a proper henna, no matter if you leave it for a long time anyway. So it's kind of flawed.
It just means that it's like always a good marriage.
Yeah, well, that's not always true, but yes, I think that's the philosophy behind it. And then for Indian weddings, which I think is super cute, I think this tradition, as far as I know, like only still happens in India. Like I feel like at least as far as I know, Indian people that are like in North America or in Western countries, they probably don't do this as often unless they're super traditional. But the bride usually gets henna done in her hands at the henna party, which is happens a couple days before the wedding. And they usually hide the groom's name in the design.
Oh, that's really cute.
So then the honeymoon.
I like that.
Yeah, I think it's super cute. So then the honeymoon, he has to find it, and if he does, it's a good sign for their wedding or for their marriage. So I feel like maybe that would be something cute that we could also potentially do. And there's all in Indian weddings. There's always like some kind of performance factor with
Yes.
the. A lot of the times it's like kind of a competition between either side, and they'll both put on a performance, and it's just like super fun. And then like they're kind of competing to be like the better one, but no one really like votes or anything. It's just like just for fun. And then the bride and groom usually like can dance obviously as well, but like I don't think a lot of the times it's like a choreographed dance or anything.
Are you thinking that you want to have a choreographed dance number with like close people?
Probably not. No, probably not.
People, or like
I feel like I want to have some kind of a
Flash.
performance, but like, not necessarily with like the people that are my friends.
I can kill it on the dance floor. You give me a routine, I will kick that routine's ass.
I mean, if you want to do it,
I
I would totally be down for it, but I don't think it's a necessary thing. I definitely think that there should be some kind of a like choreographed dance for me and the person I'm marrying. I think that'd be super fun.
Like ballroom?
Yeah,
Or
a mixture of the things maybe.
okay.
And then if for the drag wedding, I would definitely do like a performance for them.
Yeah. Obviously.
Unless they also want to get into drag, because that could be a thing too. But yeah, if
You should go and make a whole bunch of drag friends.
for the performance.
No, just like in life.
Well, yeah.
Get like a drag mama.
A drag stepmom, because I already technically have a drag style. It'd just be like a mentor, which is basically what drag moms are. But usually the drag mom is like the person that puts them into drag the first time.
Okay, well you can have somebody
Like
still like bring you
Adopt
up.
me. Yeah, that'd be fun. And like if that never happens, I could like start my own drag family and like be the mother. Once I'm, more of a seasoned queen or whatever. But yeah, I just think that'd all be super fun. And then for the cake, I also hate slicing the cake there
Yeah.
for everyone. Like I want to do like for pictures, obviously, like for us to do it, that'd be super fun and like it would look super cute. But I want to have like a really nice like 3-tiered separated cake. With like the middle one probably the highest one, and the two like lower, or like a staircase.
Yeah.
And then like cut that for pictures, and then those 3 cakes would be kept for like the wedding party, like the
Yeah.
you know.
I'm just saying yeah because I know exactly where this is going.
And then each wedding guest would get a miniature version of the cake. Instead of like a slice of cake, because I think that would look so good. It'd be super expensive, but it would look so cute.
It would be so expensive.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
So expensive.
I got this idea from watching one of those wedding shows.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it was, but I thought it was, oh my god, that looks so cute. So I want that for my wedding. And it's like, if you guys are thinking a cupcake, that's not what I'm talking about. Like an actual mini replica of the cake, like a layered cake.
Yeah.
That's like small for each guest.
Yeah. Like, are you thinking the tiers still, so it looks exactly like the cake?
No, like just one cake,
Okay.
not like the 3.
Okay.
That's just crazy, Mel.
You don't want to go with different flavors for each different.
Probably, but that's just for the wedding party anyway.
If you're going for different flavors for each of those cakes, then that means that your guests are going to miss out on the 3 flavors. What if they would have preferred another flavor, and then
Well, then they should have their own frigging wedding.
Them their like maximum enjoyment of your wedding.
They can choose to not eat the cake if they don't like that flavor.
Well, they like the flavor. They're just not going to get all the flavors.
Yeah, but they wouldn't know.
Oh, they'll know.
How would they know?
I'll tell them.
Whose side are you on, Mel? You're supposed to be on my side, making sure I get everything that I want.
Oh, you'll get whatever you want. Just be like, oh, did you have that? Oh.
You had the other flavor.
You weren't part of the wedding party, so you didn't get to taste all of the cakes.
What a bitch.
Too bad.
I was going to say I'll do that for your wedding, but you're not going to be as crazy as me, so nothing like that would happen.
Yeah.
Also, probably as far as I can see, like your wedding won't be as, well, it definitely won't be as big as mine, but like most of the guests will probably be just your friends anyway. So you
it
wouldn't
would
really
be like close friends
family.
and family, and that's it. Like, yeah. And I'm on the fence about kids. I'm like, okay, I have them now, so do I just like not invite them and tell them they need to go somewhere else?
Your own kids?
Yeah. Or, and like, who do we find to babysit? If we're getting, then we have to pay a babysitter.
Yeah, because it definitely can't be one of your friends, because then it's like you didn't like us enough to invite us to your wedding, but you want us to take care of our kids.
But then it's sort of like, do I really want them there? Hell no. Like, love them to death. Do I really want them to be at like my wedding?
Do you think
I want to stay up and like party and
drunk,
have fun and then sleep in the next day? That's the biggest thing.
Right.
I want to be able to sleep in the next day.
Do you think you want like some kind of a ceremony and like maybe have them be part of that, and then like they can go away after that?
Yeah.
Because you don't. You said you don't.
Haven't thought about it.
Because you said you don't want necessarily like a ring boy or a flower girl or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't really. But they could be like, okay, you guys can get married. Like they could walk us down the aisle and
that would be super cute.
Give us away
to each other.
And be like, you guys can get married. We approve.
Or like they're having a tantrum that they're like, no. I feel like it would also be super cute.
I guess we can't get married.
Weddings off, everyone. I feel like it'd be super cute for pictures too. Like, like if you were like, if like Em and Dash were waiting for the first look together, and then you and Daisy walked together to see them, or if it would be you and Dash and him and Daisy waiting.
Yeah,
that would be super cute for photos.
It would. That would be very, very sweet.
And then after that, you can be like, okay, bye, kids.
No, like maybe they can come, and then they can just like go to bed at some point, and like we have somebody who doesn't want to stay out late go and like.
Well, then you don't have to wake up early with them.
No, but we could like go and like one of our relatives could like stay over like wherever
the wedding is,
or like take them home and
deal with them.
It's something could be worked out. I'm sure.
What about Gordy?
I love Gordy. Gordy can be in the wedding.
So Gordy is a for sure, your kids are maybe.
Gordy is my dog and I love her.
So Gordy is a for sure and your kids are a maybe. It's not just so we're getting that clear.
I'm a good mom. I swear.
I wonder what Em would think about that. I feel like he'd probably be like, it's all of them or neither.
No, he wouldn't say that. He wouldn't say that to me.
Oh gosh. But yeah, I think I'm so excited for weddings. I don't know if I'll ever get married because I don't know if I'll ever find someone, but if I do, I would love to do that. And the whole shopping part for like before the wedding would be super fun for me. Like recently, yes, I would love to like be like recently we went to wedding dress shopping for one of my friends, and it was so much fun. And like the shop owner was like kind of standing there letting me do the thing. I was basically doing her job for her.
That's so much fun though when you're the friend going with people. Like,
I was literally the only one out of all of her entourage basically like picking things out. Like they had a couple opinions here and there, but the dresses they picked were not that great anyway. But they were mainly just sitting there like giving their opinions. I'm like, you didn't do any of the work, so you don't necessarily get to say that it's that bad or anything like that. I'm like, get up and choose something then, and choose a good thing. But yeah, it was funny because I told her, her name is Megan, I was like, Megan, you're gonna try things on that I show you that might not necessarily be the material or like the style that you want to go for, but just try them on because you never know. What if they look really good? Like, just don't say no to anything right off the bat.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, probably not. She's like, I know what I want, and she's like, I think I'm exactly like sure, but how I want to picture myself and everything. I was like, okay, I was like, fine if you say that. And then like we went there and like me obviously at first looked for wedding dresses for myself, and then I decided to look for wedding dresses for her. And I like showed her a few, and a couple of them she said no. She's like maybe, and like the maybes I put in the dressing room anyway because I'm like just try them on. And the nose is like okay fine, I won't force you to try something on because obviously the bride has to be happy with her dress.
Yes.
But then after she tried on a couple, she just like wasn't completely in love with any of them. And neither was like any of the entourage. And then the shop owner and I were like looking at other options, and there was one that I saw that I had showed her beforehand. I was like, this would look super good on you, and she didn't like believe me, and she also didn't like the material that it was.
So he snuck a no.
I did. I was bad. Well, it was because of the shop owner too. I told her, and she's like, let's just put it in there. We'll see what happens. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, as long as you agree with me. Her name was Shelby. She's super fun. So we took that in the dressing room for her. And Megan was like, Wally. I was like, just try it on. She comes out, looks in the mirror, and she's like, I look so good. I'm like, yeah, I know. And the whole, as soon as she walked out, the whole entourage was like, oh my God, Megan.
He showed me a picture, and she does look absolutely gorgeous in this dress.
Yeah, so I was like, I told you this would look good on you. I know it's not the material that you're happy with, like, that you wanted or whatever. But and then I went up to her because I'm also a nice person. I was like, do you think you can get over the material? Like, if you can, there's other options. You don't have to choose this one just because we all think it looks great. Like, you have to be happy with it. She's like, no, I look really good. And she's like, I will get over the material. So she ended up buying that one. So yeah, she had, like, I'm so excited for her because she looks so good, and I love weddings. I like when she first told us about the wedding, I bought shoes for myself for the wedding.
Of course you did.
It wasn't even like planned or anything. I was at a shoe store looking for shoes for drag. Didn't find anything because I'm like a guy, so there's barely any shoe sizes for me at women's stores or for like women's shoes. And then I saw these really nice like men's shoes, and they were like charcoal with like charcoal stones all over them, and they were so pretty and like sparkly. And I was like, oh my God, what size is that? And she was like, oh, it's like the last one we have, and it was a return that had come in that day.
So it was just.
It was so meant to be, and I tried it on. Like, I think it was like a size smaller, or a half size smaller, or a half size bigger than I normally get. So I was like, oh, let me just try it on, I guess, for fun, and they fit perfectly. I was like, okay, this is crazy, and also just like meant to be for this to happen.
Yes.
So I told her, and then the next time I saw her, which was like also like last year at some point, and I was like, oh my God, Megan, I have shoes for your wedding. She's like, what? And then I showed her, she's like, that is so you. I'm like, I know. And they were just like there, and I wasn't like planning or anything, and they just happened to be there. I'm like, I have to buy them. And they were 50% off. So they were like, yes, in just all the like, levels.
Yeah. Perfect.
And then she was trying to tell me that she was going to wear flats to her wedding. And I said no.
If you try to tell me that I cannot wear a certain type of shoe, I am not going to listen to a word that you say.
That's fair. Just and I was mainly joking. But she's like, I can't wear heels. I'm like, okay. I was like, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do, obviously. But I was like, why not, like, for photos at least, wear heels?
No.
Or, practice in them so that you don't fall on your face like you did the one time. And then I was like, you can choose any, like, the joke she made was that she was going to wear Crocs.
Oh, that's just terrible.
Or Birkenstocks. I'm like, you are not wearing those shoes at your wedding. And I was like, if you wear those shoes, I'm not coming to your wedding. Because I do not want to be associated with that.
You can't say that. You need to just go to anybody's wedding and put up with whatever they want to do.
I know I can't say that. Yes, because that's what I'm going to be like. Exactly. And they have to put up with everything that I say.
Exactly, Wally.
But Crocs
don't be a hypocrite.
Or Birkenstocks?
You can have your opinion about it, but you still have to go.
Do you, what is your opinion on that?
That's hideously ugly and should
exactly.
never happen. But
also with that dress,
I wouldn't say no.
You would just tarnish the name of that dress with those shoes.
You can't really see her feet anyway.
But she was wearing wedges in that photo because I told her to bring heels to the wedding dress tryout.
Yeah, you can't see her feet.
I know, but I'm saying she needs some kind of a height for that dress to work, unless she like gets them altered higher for whatever shoe she's gonna wear. And I didn't say she had to wear like heels.
She's gonna have to get get the wedding dress altered anyway.
Well, yeah, of course. But I told her, I was like, she can wear like the shortest heel that she wants. It has to like have just something. That's what I told her, and she can obviously say no. And I'm just saying this because I'm crazy and a little bit of a diva. But that's just my opinion on that topic.
Megan, if you're listening, I think that you should wear whatever shoe is comfortable and that you are going to enjoy the night in. If you want to be able to dance, if you don't want your feet to hurt, if you are somebody whose feet hurt when you wear heels, don't listen to Wally. Don't listen to him. That will take away from your enjoyment of the night. So you do you and wear whatever you want.
And Megan, if you want to look good at your wedding, and if you want to look back at photos where you
look good in any shoe except for Crocs and Birkenstocks. She'll look good in any shoe.
Yeah, if you want to look good and realize that beauty is pain, and sometimes breathing.
Beauty is not always pain, Wally.
breathing and walking are overrated. So just endure it. If I can wear a corset and a wig and heels, you can wear wedges for 2 hours for photos and then take them off.
No, you're choosing to do that. She doesn't have to.
I never said I was like nice in that sense.
Also, it depends. Like, what kind of terrain is she going to be getting married in?
The actual wedding is outside, so I said she doesn't have to wear the shoes outside just for photos.
Did you give her permission, Molly?
I did. I gave her permission to do what she wanted, to do what I wanted at her wedding.
Terrible.
I obviously, like, any of that is clearly
Yes.
a joke, but those are just my crazy ass opinions, and take them or leave them. But my big thing with anything is like looking good for photos and things like that. So I said to her, just for photos, wear them, and then you can do whatever the hell you want after that. And photos are usually done first anyway, right? For most of it, like the main photos.
They can be, some are done before, and then there's usually a break after the ceremony.
To do more photos?
Well, they'll usually have like photos with the different wedding parties. So they'll be with like the bridesmaids and the bride and the groomsmen and the groom.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be separate. And then after the ceremony, then they take the bride and groom, and they'll usually do like the bridal party as well at that time.
Gotcha.
I have been in one wedding where we did them beforehand.
Which was the one I was at, right?
No.
Oh, okay. We did them.
Although we did do those before, but.
So you guess you've been to two.
Yeah, I've been to two. Okay. Fine. I've been to two.
Was the other one you were also part of the wedding?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was also part of the wedding.
Was this the one at Costa Rica?
No, I wasn't in that wedding. I just went to that wedding.
I was so jealous when you told me about that.
It was fun.
I can imagine.
Yeah. I would definitely be getting married outside.
Mm-hmm.
So heels are not a thing that's gonna happen
at all
at my wedding.
Okay.
There will be no heels at all.
For yourself, at least.
Yeah, if you
What
want
if
to
I
wear
want to come
heels,
in drag?
you can. I don't care. I'm not wearing any heels. Yeah.
No, that's fair. And I like, obviously, any of like, what about photos?
What about photos?
Yeah.
I don't see myself getting a photographer because I just really don't care. I don't want to pay a photographer to take.
Can I take photos?
They're all. Yeah, like guests can take photos, but I don't want.
No, but can I be like your photographer? They don't have to pay me. You've seen my work.
Yes, but I also don't want like
wedding photos.
Like that. Yeah, I don't want like the typical wedding photos, and I don't want there to be like the huge gap in everything to go and take the photos. I would rather just have photos of us celebrating with everybody that we love and have known for a really long time.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Em and I have known each other for like 24 years now.
I was 2 when they met.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So we've known each other for 24 years.
That's actually crazy to me.
Wow. We were like friends for the
whole year,
like
all those years,
large majority of that, like right up until we got together, we were friends. Like we've known each other's exes and everything. So it's just, it would really actually be a celebration of, I guess, our entire progression,
right,
like,
of friendship,
of our friendship and life.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would want the pictures to kind of represent that rather than being staged.
Okay,
in
I
any
see
way,
that.
shape, or form.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know. I don't see the like.
Also, I would have everything decorated really, really beautifully.
Oh, I know. I can see that for sure.
Really nice.
I don't know. I just love the like candid moments of the staged photos, if that makes sense. Because like during when they're like do this or whatever, like there's always the moments where you're like both laughing because it's like kind of so stupid like what they're telling you to do, and then like sometimes the photos like that they're telling you to do feel so awkward, but then they look really good.
Yes.
But then also there's like, I think we had did this that when I was when I took photos of like Dasha's pregnancy photos.
My maternity shoot.
That's the word.
Another word for that.
Dasha's pregnancy photos. That makes no sense. You knew what I meant. Yeah, your maternity photos.
My 9-year-old is pregnant.
He's also a boy. Anyway, for those.
It went very wrong very fast.
During those, like when I was telling you to do stuff and like seemed to do it, but then you guys had those times where you were like both laughing at how absurd the things were, and those photos look so cute.
Some of them.
I think they look cute. I think that you guys look cute always. So, and that's like my thing. You don't really think you look good in most photos. So.
No, I like a lot of those, but it's hard to kind of like when you're absolutely enormous.
Yeah.
It's hard to always feel like you look great.
I get that, but I'm always enormous, so.
Oh my god, I will punch you.
See, this is how I felt before you were pregnant, and you would say that you felt like fat or bloated or anything.
Well, I did feel.
I understand.
That way. But anyway.
You're allowed to feel that. Those feelings are valid.
My wedding, that will never happen. That was a little bit of a joke. We had a conversation earlier that involved M.
Never say never.
It will be beautiful. It's gonna be outside. It is 100% gonna be like a rustic thing, and I kind of want there to be like a keg.
Oh my god.
It can be beautiful with a keg.
Okay, sure.
No, but like drinks, just like lots of drinks, really good food. Mm-hmm. Like there has to be really good food.
Well, that's a given. And like I feel like with your taste for food, it would be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and like there would be a ton.
Mm-hmm.
Every single party and event that I have planned, I plan the menu. Mm-hmm. Pretty much, that's the first thing that I start looking at in planning. And then...
Yeah, we work very differently. I always go for the aesthetics first and then the food.
Well, I have an idea of everything already in my head. Rustic, soft, lighting.
But I'm like, you'll starve,
outside.
But we'll look good.
Nobody ever should starve at
No,
an event.
I would not actually do
ever.
that, but...
But yeah, there needs to be cheese.
Mm-hmm. Lots of it.
There needs to be cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, my thing is that I always want all these things. So I drive him absolutely crazy. Like, I drive him crazy with most things in life.
Which is ironic because she doesn't even drive.
But when I'm planning an event, I just like absolutely drive him crazy because I am like making this enormous list of our menu.
And he's like, okay, so what if these
he's like,
actually need?
Okay, let's just scale that back. And I'm like, no, I need need that.
And then after it gets tailed back, there's still always so much food left over.
Not all the time. Not all the time. Sometimes. But everything is like really good always.
Yes.
And I always am very happy. And there's always one thing where he's like, okay, do we really need this? And I'm like, yes.
And then it's a fan favorite.
We need it. And, yeah, but I do always get my way.
Yeah,
if
of
I'm
course.
like, no, I need it. I need it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's fair. Like for was it for Dash's gender reveal? When I was like kind of here, we were like planning stuff, and we were both like kind of like no, we need this.
I feel like I'm gonna say yes because I'm sure that happened.
Because I don't think I was here for I was just working way too much, I think, for Daisy's gender reveal, but for Dash's gender reveal, I think we like fully planned things all together because I think I was living here at the time.
Yeah, you were.
Well, not here, but with you guys. Yeah, so I think that makes sense. We were both like, no, this is gonna happen. Mm-hmm. I was like, not that I have an actual say in this, but if I did, it should happen.
Yeah. So.
And he was just going crazy over both of us because.
He already has to deal with me, and then it was like he had to deal with two of me.
Basically, and I'm crazier than Mel. Like, obviously, because it wasn't my event, I wasn't like as crazy as I would have been normally. But I'm still pretty crazy, even when I'm not as crazy.
Yeah. So if you can imagine, like that's what I'm like when it's just like a birthday party,
right,
or a baby shower, or a gender reveal, any of those.
For a wedding, it'd be even crazier.
Wedding, I would definitely take it up. It would go up a notch.
Yeah.
And I really have a thing for like all of the little mini versions of foods. Mm-hmm. So those would definitely get like passed around. And I kind of I like bars. Mm-hmm. Like I like bars where you get drinks, but I also like choco bars.
Gotcha.
And like what else?
Like a slider bar?
Ooh,
that'd be so fun.
Slider bar. What else can you do? I'm obsessed with the taco bar.
Soft or hard? Or both?
Well, you have to offer people both.
Yeah, but soft I feel like is more popular.
Soft is more popular, but...
Visually, I think the hard ones are more popular, but eating-wise, soft is usually more popular.
Yes. But it's a taco bar, so you need to offer both.
I guess.
Hot chocolate bar.
Ooh, that would be fun. Because it's in the fall, too.
And... Oh, I could have a fire pit.
You could.
Oh my god, we're gonna have a fire pit at our wedding, and people can make s'mores. He's laughing at me. This is my life. They're both laughing at me.
We should have like a cider, like hot apple cider with alcohol in it. Mm-hmm. Like a dispenser.
That would be a thing.
Like a keg of that as well as a regular keg. Yeah. That'd be so fun.
Kegs, like getting a keg would just be economical. I also can't. Ooh, barbecue. I'm in love with barbecue, so you need to have like a barbecue station.
Yeah, I feel like if we got a keg, it would have to be, for looks wise, it would have to be like a wooden keg.
Can make like a
like a casing for a regular keg. That's what I mean. Like I feel like it would look better if it's not a steel or metal keg.
No, but you can also have like a wall with just the tops coming out, and then they can be labeled with like the chalkboards and like written
for what
nicely.
it is, like beer, hot apple cider.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that would be really cool. Or we could have even like for when guests first come in, if it's like.
See, now I feel like I'm planning my wedding.
Depending on what time it is, we could have like or at like night when people like need a bit of a pickup, we could have like a alcoholic coffee. Because why wouldn't you?
That's part of the hot chocolate bar. You have
gotcha.
Hot chocolate, tea, and coffee, and then you have different types of alcohol that you can mix into all of those, plus like marshmallows, whipped cream, all of that stuff.
Yeah, of course. For the hot chocolate, you would probably want to do Kahlua or something like that, or chocolate liqueur.
Well, Bailey's as well.
Bailey's.
All the different flavors of Bailey's. You could also do like a mint liqueur.
I love mint chocolate together.
Orange.
Yeah,
liqueur.
that's true.
You could have some of the, like, there are so many.
Yeah, you could pretty much do anything.
There's like a caramel liqueur that you could get.
The options are endless.
Yeah, going on.
We also do Panama Jack instead of Bailey's because I feel like Panama Jack is a little bit tastier.
I'd have to do a side-by-side sampling to give a proper opinion.
Well, this is
right now.
we would do all of this ahead of the wedding.
Well, God,
So for like
yes.
months before, we'll just be drunk the whole time.
And there needs to be champagne because
Well,
it's me and you need champagne.
like real champagne for the wedding.
Yeah.
We should get real champagne.
Yeah.
At least a couple bottles.
Well, I'm going to be drinking
Exactly.
real champagne. For
The guests can have
sure.
sparkling wine or a cava or something, but you two at least deserve real champagne, and I'll sneak in a couple glasses.
But yeah, I think that would be really. I think that would be really fun.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And there can be like those warm, red, checkered blankets for people who want to go and sit outside. Around,
like with your anagrams on it.
That could be a thing.
I thought you were gonna make fun of me for saying that.
No, I'm fine with that. Then it
It's
could
so
be like
cute.
a take home.
Yeah.
That could be like.
That could be the party favor. Every guest gets one of those. That'd be so cute.
Yeah.
That'd be so cute. Like, not my thing at all, but for you guys, I see that.
Yeah. And like a little s'mores kit or something.
My
or
God.
like a little, I don't know.
A
Like
s'mores kit would be cute.
a little photograph.
Mm-hmm.
Or like picture.
Of the two of you?
I don't know. No, not of us. We could like have a little booth or something, or like we could have like Polaroids going around and like frame. Somebody would be in charge of this. It would not be me, but like going and like framing the pictures of the different couple, and then it would be like with their blanket.
That would be really cute. And the picture frame would be
Yeah.
monogrammed as well.
No, it wouldn't. It would just be a nice picture frame.
Okay. Would it have the year on it or the date? The date might be cute. Because then it's not your names.
It wouldn't be monogrammed. It would just be, maybe it would.
Because it wouldn't be like your names. It would just be like the dates.
No,
and
I
kind
understand what you're saying now, and that would make sense. Maybe I won't do a picture frame because I don't really like that idea. But I like the blanket idea.
Yeah, the blanket idea is really cute. Yeah, I feel like both of our weddings are going to be really nice and cute in very different ways.
Very, very.
Well, might not necessarily be cute, but it'll be extravagant. We're both crazy in very different ways. Well, also similar ways, but want different things.
Yeah. This is true.
And I like this is all probably makes me sound like such a diva, and I can be a diva, but I'm also like usually pretty easygoing with anything. Like I don't have any specific places that I need to go for food or dates or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like, yeah, we'll just do whatever we want to do.
Specific ideas about where I would get a cake from.
Well, that yes, obviously, but I feel like I wouldn't like shut down the other person if they wanted to like try different things and like change some things. Makes my eye quiver a little bit about the wedding.
That was like a full-on twitch that just happened here. Like his eye actually started like twitching there.
Well, it's because I've been like planning this ideal wedding for so long.
That's true.
In my mind, so it'd be hard for me to give things up. But I'm also a nice person, and that's like obviously if someone doesn't want this crazy thing, I would be like, okay, fine, we'll do a smaller scale version of it, I guess. I'll give up my hopes and dreams to marry you. I'm not dramatic at all.
That's what everybody wants to hear. I'll give up my hopes and dreams for you.
That's just like my reverse psychology way of getting the things that I want.
Well, now you just told everybody, so it's not going to work.
Well, I'm sure the person I'll be marrying at that point will already know my ways.
Maybe.
And we'll just like laugh and be like, okay, fine.
Maybe. You're supposed to hide those things, Wally.
I just want people to know that I'm crazy right off the bat.
You're not crazy, though.
You know what I mean, so that they don't get like taken aback a year after we're together. Like, you signed up for this.
I don't think you'd be able to hide the crazy for a year.
This bitch. Oh gosh, it's coming from you. You didn't hide it for 17 or whatever, however long it was before you guys got together. He's finally like, fine, I guess I'll be with you.
That is not what happened.
I feel like we could just like talk about this forever, pretty much.
I'm excited to like plan my wedding now that we were talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, I'm getting married. I'm not getting married.
Mel, can I ask you a serious question?
Yeah, sure. You can ask me whatever you want. You know that.
This has been bugging me for a really, really long time. Does size matter?
You know who would be perfect for answering that? She's been with like way more people than me. Jacqueline.
Oh, you mean that wannabe drag queen that hosts sex trades?
Yeah. I mean, sex trades with Jacqueline of all trades. There are already 5 episodes out.
Oh, okay. Well, what if I don't want to tell the whole world my name?
Just use an alias or tell her that it's from Anonymous.
I guess I'll DM her on Instagram at Jacqueline O.T, JACKELYNNE.T.
You know, you could also email her at mandpafterdark@gmail.com. mandpafterdark@gmail.com.
Thanks, Mel.
No problem.
But I could.
Put it out into the world.
Let's just plan my wedding and then we'll like send out invitations and I can just be like, sorry guys, I'm not actually getting married, but like here's my party for my wedding.
Yeah, if you guys want us to get married, or have any other ideas for us, please send them to us. We will probably say no to them because we're crazy, but we want to know still.
I won't necessarily say no.
Yeah.
I said some things that
Or tell us how crazy we are with our ideas, especially me.
You know, pretty. I'm thinking about like everything now. I'm like, ooh, my dress.
Same. Oh, your dress is going to be so hot on you. Like the ideas of the wedding dresses that you showed me that you want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to do that if we ever do that. Go dress shopping for you.
Yeah, I do like going wedding dress shopping. I've gone a few times.
Mm-hmm.
We would go when one of my friends a few years ago, she was getting married and I went with her. And it was a ton of fun. Every single time we went out, we would go and
to different stores.
Well, we went to different stores, but we'd also plan where we were going based on the different cupcake shops that were around that area. So we would find every single cupcake shop and we would get a thing of
cupcakes,
like half a dozen cupcakes from each place that we went and just like try them all, like try all the flavors to compare.
Cake tastings, do they normally charge for that?
You know what? I have no idea. I haven't gone to a cake tasting.
Because I feel like, I'm sure they do a little bit at least, because I feel like if they didn't, then people would take advantage of that and just go try cakes for free.
True.
Because if they don't, we should totally go together.
I would do that.
That'd be so fun.
I would totally do that.
Yeah. Do you see yourself having a cake or cupcakes or something at your wedding?
See, that I don't know. Like I would want a cake, maybe. I think I'm more somebody who would have like a dessert bar with like a center piece, like maybe a croque-en-bouche.
Oh, that'd be super pretty.
Or like maybe cupcakes, but like there could be a cake there as like a centerpiece, but I would not ever do like the cutting of the cake. That
in general, or like not for the guests, or not for photos, for anything, just there.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, no, that's fine.
I don't know. Like it would have to get eaten.
Yes.
Like, it would have to get eaten, but I wouldn't want like the okay, it's time to cut the cake now.
Yeah. Well, I feel like for
my hands are cutting the cake.
I wouldn't do that either. Like for the photos that I want for my wedding cake cutting, the guests don't have to pay attention. It's just like me and the person I'm getting married to,
then
for the
being
photographer.
Rude because they're not paying attention to you cutting your cake.
Well, I'm sure they would because it's me, but they don't have to. Like I wouldn't be like, everyone pay attention to Wally and whoever. Like they cut on cake now.
Well, your MC would totally say that because your wedding is gonna have an MC.
Yeah, probably. It
It's
has to
going
be
to need to direct all those people
to do what?
to like live properly.
Well,
They have to be in the right place at the right time, and they need somebody to tell them.
yeah. All they
Yeah.
really have to do after they're at the wedding is, oh, this is my other big rule that we didn't mention. No one's allowed to wear black.
Oh yes, he has that crazy rule.
I understand why you think it's crazy because most men, at least, like will always wear a black suit to weddings. I don't like the color black because it's like in my culture, especially for weddings, it's like a color for funerals and like.
Then you might not want to have calla lilies because they are the flower of funerals.
Yeah, but not in my culture.
Okay.
So in my mind, it's
That's
not.
fair.
And I haven't grown up with that. You know what I mean? Unless the person I'm with is like, I don't want calla lilies, and I don't even know if I do want calla lilies. I just think they're super pretty. But that's why I don't want the color black at my wedding at all.
No, that makes complete sense.
Because it's like
It's
a
just
color
like-
for mourning or like sad times, and I want my wedding to be like a happy, bright party for celebrating love.
That makes a lot of sense, and
Yeah.
I like the way that you explain it.
But people are gonna think I'm crazy when I say that in invitations that they can't wear black.
I don't think that they're gonna think that you're crazy. I just think that it's going to be like, oh crap, I need to go out and buy a new suit.
But you don't. It can be like blue. I'm sure most men have like navy suits.
Most men have one suit that fits them properly.
Barely.
Yeah,
Especially
exactly.
straight men. Their suits usually don't fit. Oh my god.
You and your straight.
Okay,
men.
let's be real. Most straight cis men don't know what they're doing with their outfits, especially suits.
No, there are a lot of guys.
Unless they've been to like a real like suit
There are a
shop.
lot of guys who care about the way that they look.
Yes, but I've seen so many that I'm like, what are you doing with your life? Why is that 2 sizes 3 like big for you?
Yeah, you've seen the wrong people.
And then what other thing that irks me so much is when they're wearing a suit jacket and they haven't cut the back part that's held
so
together.
that it has, yeah.
Oh my god. I'm like, what makes you think that everything else is sewn together perfectly and like, you can't see any seams or any, what, and then those two pieces of thread that are crisscrossed is meant to be seen. Like, what? In what part of your brain did you think that was okay? That drives me insane.
Yes.
And like this kind of happened recently when like a few months ago I went to like a cousin's wedding and my dad had that. His jacket was like sewn together. Like that part of them, like, what are you doing? I literally went behind him and like, Dad, you're embarrassing me. And I fixed it for him. I was like, I used to work at a kind of a suit store. I used to work at J. Crew and we had men's suits.
Yep.
So I'm like, how am I your son? So that just, and yeah, that drives me insane. On top of everything else that drives me insane. We're gonna have to do that episode soon. All the pet peeves and things that drive us insane.
Yeah, we can do that.
Because we both have a lot of things, I'm sure. Especially me. Because I am crazy. It's like the podcast basically like admitting all of my insanities and like no one's ever gonna want to be with me because of this.
Such a lie. Anyway, if you guys have, like, we just went on a total tangent, but if you guys have any more ideas for our weddings,
Mm-hmm.
like ideas of places that we should go,
Yes.
for food, catering, cake, flowers,
Even venues.
decor. Yeah, if you guys know great venues or like great like package deals where you can get the catering with the venue and stuff like that. Like I know that most places just automatically have that, but let us know.
Yeah, and if you have a
Help us
place
narrow
that's
down
even
our search.
prettier than my place that I said. Search is multiple of them. Okay, let's finish off our episode with this fun little game, which is F, marry, or kill. And these are the 3 choices for today. So I chose 3 characters from Grey's Anatomy that are all super attractive. And yeah, so they are Mick Jamie, who's what's his name in the show? Derek Shepherd.
Oh my god.
It's just insane because I'm obsessed with that show. I'm just having a brain fart. Mick
Really
Steamy.
Mick Steamy.
Who is oh my god, Mark Sloan. Yeah, and then Jackson Avery because he doesn't have a nickname, so it's just his name. Those are the 3 options. I think they're all attractive in very different ways.
Yes.
So
Yes,
why
they
don't
are.
you go ahead and choose your...
Oh man. Oh. Okay.
It's a hard decision.
It is. Also, what season? That might determine a few things. What season?
Well, would we choose different seasons for different people because some of them aren't in the show anymore?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
No, I know.
Let's say
Just
season 8.
changes.
Just spoiler alert. Let's say season 8 because that's like the last season they're all in. I'm not saying anything specific.
Okay. Okay, 100%. I am marrying Mark.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. That's a
marrying Mark.
That's not surprising to me, actually.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
That shouldn't be surprising to anybody.
If you know anything about Mel.
Knows me.
I feel like I know the other 2 for you as well.
Do you?
I think so. It's hard.
I'm like going back and forth.
And I also chose the hardest ones, the most attractive ones for a reason.
Well, there's another person that would really throw things off.
Alex?
No. Although I love Alex.
Yeah.
No, there's.
Oh.
No. Wait. That would
that's
be
why,
easy.
That's why I thought, because I didn't.
Okay. Marrying Mark.
Yep.
I feel like I need to kill Jackson. But I don't want to.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to kill any of them.
No, but I find him a little bit annoying as the show's gone on. Where I'm just like, ugh!
So you preferred him when he first came on the show, is what you're saying?
I like him when he's with April and it's nice. Their relationship is nice.
Okay. Isn't that around season 8?
I have no idea. But now I'm not the biggest fan of him.
Okay. So you would kill him and marry, and have sex with
Derek.
Yeah.
With McDreamy. Yeah. But he's just such an ass.
Yeah.
When he is an ass, he's the king of the asses. That's why I had such a hard time with it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
I knew
those are my picks.
I knew that it was gonna be like if you had to kill Derek, it would be because he's sometimes such an arrogant little, what?
Yeah, I can't stand it. I cannot stand him when he is that way.
Especially with the whole New York thing. Was it Washington thing? Oh my god, that drove me insane as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would probably marry Sloane as well. McSweeney.
Really?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Did you think I was gonna say Derek?
Yeah.
No, I feel like Sloane and I feel like are similar in the sense of we may have had our man-whore tendencies, but we're both pretty nice people on the inside, and we can be dicks sometimes, but we're not always.
Okay. You're never a dick.
That's not true.
He's the farthest person away from Mark Sloane as you could possibly get. He's the George.
Okay, I don't I feel like I was the George a few years ago.
You're the George that evolved into the Callie.
Callie. Okay, I can see that. I'm okay with that. I like Callie.
Yeah.
Anyway, I would probably have sex with Jackson.
I knew it.
And then kill McDreamy. Which all the McDreamy fans are gonna murder us.
We're gonna have everybody coming after
all the hate comments. Which they're still comments, so go ahead. But no, I just I could not stand. I feel like I would be okay with potentially just having sex with Derek, but I don't think I could stand being with him for a long period of time. Because especially as the show went on, I feel like Sloane became better at relationships or tried his best to be better at relationships.
And Sloane's just the most amazing guy.
And then obviously he still had his issues or his bad tendencies or whatever. But Derek, I feel like just kind of became worse in the relationship as the show went on.
Yes, I understand why you're saying that. If you had thrown Riggs into the mix instead of Jackson,
it would have been even harder.
I don't know what I would have done.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like you would have probably just killed McDreamy.
Yeah, and then we would really get something.
But then I don't know who you would choose to marry in that. Well, maybe Riggs will be in a future episode. We can do. There's so many Grey's Anatomy characters. We could do this every episode if we wanted with McDreamy or with Grey's Anatomy characters. Anyway, that is it for this episode.
Hope you enjoyed.
Yes.
And if you want an invitation to our weddings, just keep on following us. Subscribe.
Do all the things. Subscribe, like, follow. We're on pretty much any podcast platform you can find us on. And on YouTube, so don't miss an episode. I don't know what you're doing with your life if you're not listening to us.
Probably living their lives. Anyway.
But make it better. You can listen to us on 1.25 speed, which might be difficult for you to understand me even more. But
yeah.
But you can do it if you think fast.
Anyway. Good night, everybody.
Good night, or whatever time of day it is. You'll hear us next time.
You post this at 6 o'clock, so it's night.
Well, they might not necessarily be listening to it right away.
All right.
Bye.
Well, enjoy your day. Bye.